Hi, my name is Manchis and I'm a content creator. After 8 months of game development, I officially put my first game on Steam. Well, technically it's a demo, not a full game. Yet. And I want to talk about it. It all started back in July when I had just finished my first game ever. As a reasonable human being, you might say, isn't it a bit too early to start thinking about a commercial game? You practically had a breakdown trying to make a character walk for a cutscene, dialogue system made you cry, and you have a bug in the game that you cannot even fix. And these are some fair points. And let's be honest here, the best way to learn game dev is to make a bunch of small games first, instead of jumping into your big dream game. You know, the one that's going to make you the next Toby Fox or Eric Baroni. Well, let me tell you my reasoning. I wanted to make a very simple and cheap game to learn the process from start to finish. How does Steam work? How do you upload games? How do you market them? What do you do before and after the release? Put simply, I didn't want to make a big game that I pour my heart into and for it to be the guinea pig when it comes to marketing and official release. Following that logic, I went for a very simple idea, a cat finding game. Cute, niche, manageable. I was very new to programming at this point, so that seemed like a right scope for me. Like you take a on mouse down function and just write some cat finding logic there. But since I apparently thrive on unnecessary suffering, I had to create a small challenge for myself, a trivial inventory system. Some cats just wouldn't come out if you didn't find a specific item they requested. And I simply had to add a dialogue system. Don't even ask. With the gameplay figured out, I got to work. Of course, I started with the code, but I didn't rush that project. During that time, I participated in 3 game jams, which I've talked about in previous videos, and I'm also working on another project with friends, so there were times where this cat fighting game was put on the back burner. And this was actually good, because each time I came back to the project, I refactored some of the code after gaining more knowledge of programming. Also, this project made me realize how important it is to make small game first when you're just starting out. I knew that before thanks to the internet advice, but now I experience this knowledge firsthand. Saving system was tough. I cannot imagine even how much time it would take if I had a bigger and more complicated project. System architecture and debugging can be a nightmare. Now I realize it's not surprising that the majority of projects get abandoned, especially when they're started out by the beginners. It gets overwhelming really quickly. But in the end, the code base was ready and I started making the art for the game, for the first level and for the UI. Even though it's a small game, I decided to make a demo first, only for the first level, so I can try out how Steam Next Fest works. It took me a while to figure out the UI, the character, the color palette. This is definitely a biased opinion, but I think it turned out really cute. After putting everything in the game and, figuring out all the quirks, all the bugs that appeared, I was finally ready with the demo. It took some time to get it on Steam. First, you need to wait while they approve your information when you register as a Steam partner. Second, you need to actually fill the game page, write descriptions, create Steam capsule art, and a bunch of other things. Third, you need to wait for your page and your game, or in my case demo, to get approved. And I missed Steam Next Fest deadline registration, but thankfully they have an appeal system in place. So after sending them a pleading message, they actually let me in. When the next fact comes and goes, I might make a video on my thoughts and impressions. And yes, this is a segue to my asking you to subscribe. I called my game In Pursuit, and now the demo is officially live on Steam. I would appreciate it if you checked it out, and if you have feedback, you can send me an email or just join my Discord. Oh, and if you want your cat featured in the game, feel free to write me. And this is where the video was supposed to end. But my friends played the demo, they gave some advice, and after changing some of the things, I decided, what the hell, why not localize it? And usually it's not a big problem, Well, unless you have a dialogue system that does not work with localization. So I ended up refactoring my dialogue system as well. Well, refactoring is too fancy of a word here. It was more like duct taping pieces of code together. And if you're interested in learning more details or maybe have an idea for the next video, feel free to let me know so in the comments. But for now, thank you for being here. Wishlist pursued if that's something you'd like to play, and thank you for being here.